there. So we're going to be talking about a couple different things. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be discussing everything Gear 5 that I've been seeing on Twitter, or is it X by the time this video goes up? Who knows? I'm just going to be addressing it as Twitter forever. I'm never going to be calling it X. It's stupid. But yeah, so Gear 5 had a trailer that came out recently, and there's been a ton, and I mean a ton of discourse about it. And the first thing I want to get into is people talking about it spoiling, like basically ruining the hype by showing a 30-second teaser trailer and having a bunch of toys and pretty much a cum burger, or like if you want to like whatever this is, like it looks disgusting. I don't know why. I might go take a bite. But in general though, like Gear 5, they are like absolutely pushing Gear 5. Now, is that wise of them? Is that gonna ruin the hype? Is that like gonna make it so where the Crunchyroll servers aren't gonna be blown up like when, you know, when UI Goku came out? No. I don't know if it'll blow up the servers like UI Goku, but I think for sure the Gear 5 episode is gonna get nothing but more hype, because I've seen people either in my like friend circle or in my Twitter feed that aren't even interested or have seen or even caught up to One Piece that are like, whoa, that looks pretty sick. Whoa, what is Gear 5 about? Whoa, is Gear 5 really that similar to Super Saiyan? Which we'll get into. But like, people are interested. I feel like the thing with Japan that people gotta realize, which is basically that they do not care about anyone outside of Japan. They do not care about spoilers, and they don't care how you feel about it if you're not in Japan. They will spoil whatever they can to hype up the release. And that being said, that is how they've done every series that, like, Toei has done that for every series that they've had. Like, I think Dragon Ball Super Broly, before the movie officially came out, like a week or like 2 weeks before, you were having trailers of Gogeta come out. Like, the first trailer was fine. It mainly went up to, I think, the first Comic-Con trailer that came out for Dragon Ball Super, like not the teaser trailer. It went up to, I think, when Broly went Super Saiyan, and then he had like Blue Goku fighting him. I think that was like the ending shot of when Broly first turned Super Saiyan is coming out and like all the things are blowing up, right? They don't care about what people think. Like, they showed Gogeta like a week or 2 weeks before the movie came out. They had trailers showing literally Gogeta da, and it's like 30 seconds of Gogeta, like from the moment he fused to fighting Broly to turning blue, I believe. Like, all of that stuff was shown in like a trailer or two, like with the Blizzard like music soundtrack. So I think the way Japan thinks is that we show more, we get people excited, people like will go see it. And to be honest, it works more often than not. And another reason is, to be honest, like knowing Gear 5 because I read the manga, what you saw in that trailer is nothing. Like, I was like kind of hesitant to react to it because it's a 30-second trailer. After reacting to it, like, first of all, it was fire, obviously, right? It gives us a hint of how it's gonna look. But you don't see like everything. Like, the Gear 5 has so much more to offer than what you saw. And from what we saw, it looked crazy animation wise. So we're not even, like, that was literally the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more with Gear 5 that we're going to see that they didn't even really spoil anything. So do I think them showing this much of Gear 5 Luffy is a bad thing? No. I think them showing this much just shows they want to make, it just shows they want to make an event. They want to make people that aren't even fans of One Piece maybe come check out this episode and have them maybe either work backwards or like start from the beginning to get to that point later. Like, they want this episode to be an event. Whether it's going to pay off, we'll see. But like I said, they're not strangers. Like Toei, Shueisha, they're not strangers of spoilers. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe UI Goku, like perfected UI with the silver hair and no shirt, mastered UI Goku, was shown through a V-Jump scan that came out a month before the episode aired. And the V-Jump scan was for Xenoverse 2, and they just showed him, and like, oh, there you go. The marketing for Japan isn't, oh, we're gonna tease a little bit and hide, and then, like, you know, like much like the marketing over here in the West, where it's like, you know, we're gonna tease, we're gonna show a little bit, little by little, and then we're gonna, like, you know, make you be surprised and have y'all talking about it. For them in Japan, it's like, except for superheroes. Superhero was interesting, but for Japan, it's like, we're gonna show you everything, or most of everything. We're gonna give you some quick, cool highlights of these things, but then that's gonna make you want to go see the full thing in the build up. And honestly, I guess it kind of works because like the Gogeta thing was really hype, and like they showed Gogeta, but for me, spoilers like that don't matter unless unless they show the whole context of the situation. And the build up for Gogeta and all that was really hype, and the fight up until then, like the 40-50 minute fight at the end of the Broly movie. So then the second thing I'm gonna talk about is like the discourse around Super Saiyan versus Gear 5 and whether it's more iconic or not. Listen. Gear 5 and Super Saiyan, I don't know why like people have this incessant need to compare, like why can't two legends coexist, right? Like two properties owned by the same company or animated by the same company have a very cool transformation. Gear 5 is probably if you want to maybe call it a masterclass in writing, like foreshadowing everything. Gear 5 is fan-fucking-tastic. But you cannot call something iconic without letting time be the judge of that. We will know if Gear 5 is as iconic as Super Saiyan or more iconic than Super Saiyan in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Dragon Ball is a 40-year-old franchise, and you have newer anime series that are still either like mimicking, getting inspired by, referencing Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Gallic Gun, like they have been like it's like even the giant ape gets referenced. Kaioken was so like, if you want to talk about iconic transformations in One Piece, Gear Second, which for me is heavily inspired by Kaioken, like legit in terms of aesthetics and in terms of like not maybe like exactly how the powers work, but both of them have adverse effects to the user, to the point where when Gear Second was overused in the fight against Luffy could not move. He's since mastered Gear 2, and he doesn't really get those drawbacks from what we've seen. But like they've been hinted at that Gear Second does affect Luffy's like body, like, and it could affect him in the long run and maybe even kill him in the end. But and then you want to talk about Kaioken when Goku first used it, and he went Kaioken times 4. By the end of the fight with Vegeta, guess what? Goku's entire body, he could not move. He was literally in a full, like, I'm pretty sure every bone in his body was probably broken. That man was in a full body cast until Korin was able to muster up like a couple sensu beans so he could get to Namek. Like, Kaioken and Gear Second are very similar, but if you're gonna pick an iconic transformation from One Piece, it's Gear Second. People have done that pose, the steam, the like, everything about that moment is like iconic. I really do think Gear Second is the most iconic thing from One Piece. And maybe if you want to throw another iconic thing from One Piece that I consider, maybe like the 3-sword style, like, or like the idea of having absurd amount of swords. Maybe another anime prior to One Piece has done that, but like Zoro with 3 swords, I feel like is such an iconic or cool look that like other series have tried to do. Like if you want to go, maybe even Naruto got inspired by that when they made Killer Bee, and they were like, we like that. Now add 5 more swords to that and make it the 8-sword style. But then One Piece was like, let's make it the 9-sword style. So anyway, I think this whole conversation is very stupid. It's very idiotic for people to be offended one way or the other. I think people that are extremely excited about Gear 5 and they're throwing around these things, maybe they don't even mean it. They're just caught up in the hype. Who knows? People that do mean it, just ignore them. And like, for the Dragon Ball side, like, you guys know Dragon Ball is more iconic than One Piece. Like, maybe Toei's trying to replace Dragon Ball, if that's how you feel. Maybe that's why maybe some people feel like a certain way about One Piece. I don't know, because Toei is clearly prioritizing One Piece with marketing. Like, literally, Gear 5, the episode isn't even out yet it appeared in a movie, has multiple figures announced, has a Kumburger in Melbourne, has, like, is appearing in the gacha game the day of, like, when it releases, like, or the day before, is appearing in Treasure Cruise, and it might be even coming to Bounty Rush, I'm not sure. But, like, they're treating this, I feel like the way they're treating this is the way they treated UI Goku when that first happened. Because UI Goku was an event. It was a 2-episode special. They were promoting the hell out of it. You had people going on like talk shows before that, like a post-fight interview type thing, like it was a UFC match. It came out the same day as Dokkan, like nobody was expecting that. Like Dokkan came out, boom, Dokkan Fest UI Goku comes out, hype. I think gets top gross. He was so hype. He didn't even come out with an awakening, if I remember. He just came out raw. because his awakening included Master UI Goku. So they didn't want to spoil that, so they had him not even transform until like later. It was crazy. So, listen, at the end of the day, just try and have fun with both series, man. It is a great time alive to be an anime fan. Like, y'all don't know how good, like, most of you anime fans have it, because back in, like, when I was, like, I'm not that old, I'm 26, but, like, when I was in high school, like, 10 years ago, like, trying to watch, like, One Piece was kind of interesting because, like, the dub was, like they had stopped dubbing it for a while. Now in current day, the dub is at Wano. It's about to catch up to the sub, which is nuts. Like, when I was watching One Piece, I was in Fisherman Island. The dub was stuck at like Skypiea for the longest time. But now, like, you know, anime is so readily available to watch anywhere: Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, Crunchyroll. When I was watching Dragon Ball for the first time, like OG Dragon Ball, before I bought the box sets, like the blue bricks, I had to go on YouTube and search up Dragon Ball Episode 1, and I had to watch it in Episode 1, Part 1, Episode 1, Part 2, and they were like 5-8 minutes each part. And then sometimes it'd be Episode 1, Part 2, and then like, you're waiting for Part 3, but then like Part 3 like either got struck by YouTube or copyright, and it's not even on the same channel, so you have to go somewhere else on YouTube to go find it. So like watching anime in like the early 2010s, late 2000s was not an easy task if you weren't, even for Dragon Ball, if you weren't like a Dragon Ball fan, because the only big animes in the West in that time was probably Naruto. Naruto by far was the biggest in terms of popularity of the big three in the West. Naruto was everywhere. Had a billion games. It was like, I want to say Naruto in the height of its popularity was probably, I don't want to say on par with Dragon Ball, but it was probably like this close, because the West loved Naruto. That was the one, like, aside from Dragon Ball, I grew up watching Naruto over, because Bleach didn't air till like midnight for some reason, and I don't remember seeing Bleach much. And then One Piece was on 4Kids, and then it got kind of like sidelined until it started getting dubbed again. So like Naruto was the one that was probably the easiest to watch in terms of the big three. So look, all in all, have fun, enjoy the moment for you One Piece fans. Watch Gear 5. If for new One Piece fans, I want to see Gear 5. Hope you guys enjoy it too. I hope it makes you want to get into the series. If it doesn't, it is what it is. It's fine. You know, continue on with whatever you're doing. It is what it is. People need to learn to accept things and just keep it pushing. At the end of the day, I'm gonna enjoy it with the rest of you guys at the channel. I'm gonna react to it. If that 1 minute trailer or that 1 minute reaction showed you anything, that is gonna be phenomenal. So at the end of the day, love you all. See you on the next one. Peace.